Let's be honest. The cold, hard reality of attraction psychology is that the art of ignoring a woman isn't about the disrespect effect. Rather, it's about changing your mindset. Men have been programmed to believe that the more they invest, the more they will be rewarded. But what if I told you that the opposite might actually be true? If you think that being overly attentive and show her endless affection is the way to win a woman's heart, you've been misled. Before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's be clear that this isn't about manipulation in the toxic sense, but rather understanding the deeper psychological dynamics at play. Women are emotional creatures driven by complex desires, and sometimes the more you back off, the more intrigued they become. Once you master the art of pulling away, you stop coming across as needy, and suddenly she's the one vying for your attention. This connects to the core of her emotional triggers, her desire for validation, attention, and the mysterious allure of what she can't have. This tactic, despite its controversy, stems from evolutionary psychology, which holds that men who were more independent were frequently seen as stronger and more desirable partners in the modern world. The same idea holds true for confidence. Since nothing deters attraction more quickly than predictability, self-control and scarcity are key to attracting women. In this video, we'll explore the dark psychology and art of ignoring women, dissecting the strategies that can help you maintain her interest without being overly intrusive. The first, over-investigation because she knows she doesn't have to work for your attention when you're always available, and if she doesn't have to, she won't value it. Now picture you giving her space instead of being the first to text, not cancelling plans for her, and having your own life when all of a sudden she begins to wonder why he isn't pursuing me like every other guy. This curiosity and lack of constant attention draw her in, and when something is too available, it loses its value. The same rule applies to relationships. For instance, if you're the one who initiates contact and you text her all day in an attempt to keep the conversation going, she may respond at first, but soon it becomes tedious to her. You're no longer the guy who interests her. Instead, you're the guy who's too easy to read. On the flip side, if you're a little more distant, responding when you're truly free and keeping the conversation light, you're suddenly unpredictable, and unpredictable is exciting. Men who understand this know that pulling back, making space, and being selective with their time keeps a woman on her toes. Overinvestment comes across as needy. For example, if you're always buying her gifts, complimenting her, or dropping everything to be there for her, it may seem like you're being caring, but in reality, you're lowering your own value by telling her she doesn't have to invest in you because you're doing all the work. Value is key to appeal, and if you're always over-investing, ignorance leads to the second curiosity. Ignoring curiosity causes. This is a fact. When you don't give a woman the affirmation she expects, you pique her interest, and she begins to wonder why you're not reacting like every other guy. This makes you stand out. For instance, if you meet a girl at a party and you click, most guys would immediately try to set up a second date or follow up with endless texts. Instead, you take a different approach, and instead of constantly checking in, you keep your distance. You might text her, but you don't bombard her. What happens next is that she starts thinking about you and wondering why you're not pursuing her as aggressively as others. This mental gap is what draws her in when you ignore her, or at least don't immediately chase has time to reflect on you and consider her current situation. Humans are wired to crave things that are uncertain. If she knows you're always available, she won't be as excited. But if there's a hint of mystery, if she doesn't know when you'll text next or how invested you are, she'll find herself more drawn to you. For instance, if she sends you a message and you wait instead of responding right away, you're not playing games here. You're just not putting her above everything else in your life. She may even reread her message, wondering why you haven't responded. Anticipation is what makes people attractive. It's not that you're intentionally ignoring her to be cruel. Rather, by not providing her with instant gratification, you make room for her curiosity to grow. When you hold back a little, you preserve an air of mystery. Women are drawn to men who have their own life and aren't constantly trying to get approval or hanging on to every text. She starts to wonder why you're not behaving like everyone else, and that when done well, ignoring isn't about being impolite. Rather, it's about maintaining her attention on a deeper psychological level. The less you give her, the more she... Let's face it, mystery keeps her interested. She wants number 3. Maintaining an air of mystery is so powerful when it comes to attraction, because nothing kills attraction faster than predictability. If a woman knows exactly what you're going to say or do next, she loses interest. The unknown is fascinating, and when you're a little harder to read, she can't help but be drawn in. Think about it when you're too transparent, giving away everything you're thinking and feeling, and you're always texting her back right away. Stunningly clear. Although there is a role for honesty, using it excessively too soon destroys the excitement of the quest. Women love the excitement that comes from not knowing exactly how you feel or where the relationship is heading. The more you let her guess, the more invested she becomes in trying to figure you out. You can probably relate to the feeling of losing interest when someone is over-available or too eager to please. It's human nature. We want what we can't fully have. And when a woman senses that you're not completely accessible, it makes her work harder for your attention when she's working for it. She's thinking about you more, and the more she thinks about you, the more she becomes emotionally invested. By keeping parts of yourself back, you create a sense of intrigue. Maybe you don't always share your plans, or you're not always available when she wants to hang out. Maybe you're selective about what you reveal about your life. Whatever it is, when she has to fill in the blanks, she becomes more attached. The effort she puts into figuring you out makes her more invested in the relationship. Now, this doesn't mean you should play mind games or be emotionally distant for the sake of it. It's about balance. You want to be genuine, but you also want to avoid being an open book too quickly. Keep some aspects of your life private. Don't always explain yourself. Be unpredictable in a way that's natural to who you are. Women crave emotional stimulation, and mystery gives them exactly that. When you're unpredictable, when she's never quite sure what you're thinking or what move you'll make next, you keep her on her toes, and that's what keeps her hooked. Never being completely sure she's figured you. Don't be disrespectful, but pull away. Pull away, number 4, but don't be disrespectful. Many guys mistakenly believe that pulling away from a woman entails entirely cutting off all communication or treating her as like she doesn't matter. Let's face it, it's not a strategy. That's just being immature. The art of drawing away isn't about being a jerk. It's about giving her room to see your worth without going too far in the direction of disrespect. Too many men believe that ignoring her equates to being cold or unappreciative, which won't make her want you more. Rather, it will make her feel as though you're not worthy of her time. Honestly, if your approach to attraction consists of being rude or dismissive, you've already lost her. Women are drawn to emotional strength and confidence, not cruelty. There's a thin line between being disrespectful and creating mystery. Women want to feel appreciated, not like they're playing a manipulative game. So if you go too far and start treating her like she's disposable, you're destroying any genuine connection. This is where many men make the mistake of confusing pulling away with shutting down. They believe that if they ignore her texts or act uninterested, they'll somehow gain the upper hand. Wake up, women are able to see right through that, and if you're withdrawing merely to manipulate her feelings or encourage her to pursue you, It won't be long before she realizes how immature you are. Pulling away, when done correctly, is about giving her the space to miss you rather than punishing her with silence. It's about stepping back to focus on your goals, your life, and not just playing games. She'll notice the difference when she sees that you're a man who values himself enough to not be available all the time, but still knows how to treat her with respect. So stop thinking you need to be disrespectful to pull away. You don't need to degrade her to elevate yourself. Knowing when to back off while still acting with dignity and respect is a sign of true confidence, and it's how you make her want you. Let's get right to the point. If you're chasing a woman all the time, you're missing the point of attraction action. You won't win her over by always putting in the work. Instead, you need to change the script and let her do some of the chasing. Make her chase you more odd number 5. The issue is that a lot of guys are unaware of the negative effects of their persistent pursuit. If you're the one making plans and attempting to win her approval, you're placing yourself in the role of the pursuer, and she's in charge. This is a wake-up call. When you make yourself too available, you're essentially telling her that she doesn't need to work for your attention, which isn't attractive. Women want to feel like they're earning something valuable, so if you're just giving them your time and attention without making them work for it, they won't appreciate it. Women are more likely to be interested if they have to work a little for your attention. Many men believe that playing hard to get is deceptive or manipulative, but the reality is that it's about establishing boundaries and demonstrating genuine desire. By allowing her to pursue you, you're demonstrating your self-worth and other priorities. It's a hint that you're not frantically trying to get her attention, and that's what sets you apart. Focus on your own hobbies and objectives instead of chasing after her like she's the last bus of the day. When you're totally absorbed in your own world, she'll inevitably become more interested and curious. Your life should be busy enough that you don't have to wait for her to respond or change your plans to accommodate hers. The secret is moderation. You don't want to be overly eager or inaccessible, but you also don't want to be totally uninterested. When she realizes that you're not just waiting for her, she will start to value your attention more and put in more effort to earn it. So stop being the one who is constantly pursuing her and let her come to you. You'll see how much more invested she becomes. Make her work a little for your time and attention. Show her that you have a fulfilling life outside of the relationship. Let's face it, guys have been misled for years about the necessity of pursuing women continually in order to gain their affection. The sad reality is that the less you invest, the more they will want your attention. It's time to change the script and allow them pursue you. This isn't manipulation, it's just simple human psychology. Whether this works for you or not, please share your experiences in the comment section below, and I'll get in touch. Together, let's connect, dispel these fallacies, and create something genuine. As always, thank you for watching, and never forget to continue adopting a stoic outlook on life.